Hi, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I love this sweet little junk journal that is now complete. This is an Elsie book, and it is from 1915, inscribed in 1916. So well over 100 years old, and it is got the sweetest little girl here reading her book. I like to think that she's reading her junk journal, and she's got the bookshelves behind her and her desk. It's just so sweet. And I covered up this part using an antique book page. I have about 20 of these. And then I took this topper from Dr. Hudson's Secret Journal, another antique book I had, and I came up with this. So it's all truly antique paper, but I made it into a secret journal. The strung beads here are vintage beads that I put together, and then this is from a vintage necklace. The colors match exactly the cover, and it's so sweet. So let me take you on a little journey inside this journal. It's a journal journey, a journal-y. Here's the original first page inscribed. It was so old and brittle that I actually adhered it to the front cover inside. This is the original first plate of the book, and here's the original title page and publisher's markings. So over here, I've got an antique paper flower and a vintage pocket here from a book. And this is a wonderful postcard. And this is one of my page cards. I'm calling them now because my friend Paige sent me these. And this one is from, I looked this one up. I believe it's 1905. And it's absolutely stunning. It's wonderful. It's a birthday card. So you could actually reuse that and give it out as a birthday present. How fun would that be to get a 120-year-old birthday card? And then this is from 1927, so almost 100 years old, and it's from a catalog. So we've got pocket watches, ladies' watches, and purses. Gotta love it. We could only buy a purse for $4.50, hey? That was that gorgeous. Wow. This is a 1920s page, very, very chic, on how to set a proper table for a dinner party. And then this is from a 1920s book page. It's from a 1925 Winnie the Pooh book, Now We Are Six. Here's another vintage children's book page, the little boy and his mom. I love this one here. It says, "Speak truthfully, live bravely, and act kindly." Isn't that wonderful? And that is a 1930s flinch card. And just a little journaling card here with from an antique box scrap. And a little vintage image, another antique paper flower. This is 100 years old exactly, from a children's school workbook. I love it. Look at all the fun images here. So the children would take this and go to another page in the book and match them up. And you're going to see a lot of these because it was a good sized book. This, guess what this is? I'm going to tell you. This is from a player piano roll. It was the part that you would attach this little hook here into the piano hook, and that would grab it and then roll the music through. And this one is called That Certain Feeling. And can you see that? It's the foxtrot. Love that. And because it has its original grommet here, and this is kind of a cloth, I was able to easily hang a vintage dangle from there. I'm just really happy with that. And over here, I've got another little journaling tag made out of a piano roll box, sorry. Here's more of that little Winnie the Pooh page and more of this beautiful chic how to be a good hostess book. I should look up the title. I have it. I just keep forgetting it. There's another wonderful 1920s pocket here. And this is an early 1900s, pre-1910 plate. And that is Melrose Abbey. And that's all mounted on top of an 1890s book page. Fun little cluster here. That little piece of newspaper there is from 1899. And we all know this story of Heidi here. It comes up a lot in antique children's books. And then this is 1920. And then this is an original page, first page from the book, Elsie and Her Namesakes. That's listed the Elsie books. I thought you could journal on there. And then this is just a really fun little, another one of my Pennsylvania vintage souvenir napkins. I really like all of the little emblems here and what each one means. They're really fun. And this letter writing page here is from the early 1900s. Another piece here from a scrap 1904 book. And this is just some of my antique paper cutoffs that I made a little mini booklet out of for extra journaling space. And this is from the 1890s, and that is the, sometimes this is called the Woodsman and the Fairy. This time it's called the Pail of Gold. And this is fun. This is the original interior spine structure of the book. And then in here, I've got this beautiful handmade lace doily on linen. It's just lovely. It would have taken this person so long to make that. And so I didn't want to attach it in case somebody did want to use that in a different way. And here's a plate from 1887. Isn't this lovely? The little children playing croquet on the lawn. I just love it. I played croquet with my sisters when I was little. This is from the 1850s here. It's beautiful. It's a ball out in the park, a winter ball. I think it's wonderful. Look at how, oh, I just love the aging and the foxing on there. This is a Laura Wheeler tissue for a pattern to make embroidered tea towels. And I love it. So that's a really cool piece. We've got the teapots and cups. I'm going to make a tea journal, by the way, jumping all over the place now. So watch out for that in the near future. I should have kept that for there, but it goes in here now. And this beautiful 1890s page here on a little poem called The Darling Little Girl. Another 1920s page, some vintage Monopoly journal in the back of there, a vintage Monopoly piece, Atlantic Avenue, and then this is really cool from the 1920s as well. How to do, you know, canning in jars and some instruction there. But look at the wonderful little outfit she's wearing here, the little tie. I just love it. I think it's wonderful. There we go. That's a quad pocket. Lots of fun stuff going on here. And then over here, look at this. We've got an 1890s stereoscope. And this is, does anybody know without looking? It's Yosemite Falls. Isn't that beautiful? So what they did with these is there's the two photographs and one of them is offset ever so slightly. You probably can't even see that, but just enough to make it look 3D when you look through the stereoscope. So that's pretty cool. And then this is a vintage book on the rabbit who wanted red wings and the little child who stamped all over it from Florida, which is pretty sweet. And then on this side, I've got another beautiful antique postcard. And this is another page postcard. And it's the 4th May, 1919. Isn't that wonderful? It's so pretty. And that is another birthday greetings card. And now we have early 1900s Birds of America page here. Sweet, a vintage ledger page. And this is kind of cool. It's mounted on top of this early 1900s thesis, handwritten thesis page. And that again is from St. Bernard's Seminary in Rochester. And then this is an old envelope I have from 1940. And that is to a watch company. And it was sent, I believe sent from Switzerland. So it was probably for parts, from Swiss watch parts. And then on this side, I've entered a 1920s children's page for journaling. And then another antique paper here. And I don't know what this means. Sensor C68. So if anybody knows, put it in the comments below. I'd love to know what I've got there. I think it's very interesting. Oh, I'm going to put this on this way so the little pieces don't fall out. I've got that on there with a little gold paper clip. There we go. And in here, this is one of these antique book pages that is from palmistry. So palm reading, the right hand of Lord Charles Beresford. How they got these guys' handprints, I have no idea, because this is from 1894. So isn't that beautiful? So that, I just find this fascinating. I have a lot of these from that book, so I'm very pleased with that. I just think they're so unusual. And here's one of our Stickum books, and this one is from 1940, I believe. And as you can see, it's Our Beautiful House storybook, and this is Our Cheerful Living Room. And it's got a lot of tears and missing bits here that the child didn't quite stick on, but I love it. I love how colorful it is. It's just wonderful. And then we go over here. Oh, look at that beautiful bird there, a heron. This is a vintage botanical book page. And this is a great 1940s, I gotta show you this, 1940s crochet book page. Look at these lamps. If they're not the tackiest lamps I have ever seen, or are they the most beautiful lamps I've ever seen? There's such a fine line, but I just think they are wonderfully, hilariously beautiful. And there's a Raggedy Ann doll. a homemade Raggedy Ann doll. How beautiful is that? I love it. And over here we've got some vintage 50-year-old Chantilly lace. And in here I've got a 1930s Beatrix Potter set of plates, a little piece from Signature there, and that's from Squirrelkins. And over here we've got another game piece from 1968, and that is Funny Bones. And this one is connected to the hip bone. Really fun stuff. Up here I pulled from a vintage dictionary, adore, the word adore. I adore junk journaling. An antique stamp over here from Canada. And this is a plate from a book that I did a junk journal on a few weeks ago, a dog junk journal. And this was the plate of the cover. So it's so fun and pretty. And I made a pocket out of it here. And in this pocket is a 1905 piece from a cursive writing school book, and how to do your scribbling exercises. They just had the most beautiful penmanship right in the 1800s and 1900s. And there's a beautiful poem on pansies, and that's also early 1900s. Dream of Inspiration, these are lovely. This is a vintage last page of a dictionary, X, Y, and Z, W, X, Y, and Z, yep. And then this is a hand-typed research paper, 1888. And this is how to make that delicious lampshade you just saw. This is a vintage party invitation from the 70s. And then this is another blank antique page that you can journal on both sides of, Traveler's Joy. And I love that the pocket is one of the advertising pages in the back of an antique book, Jane Allen College series, to advertise those books. And then this here is just a beautiful inscribed first page of a book, April 29th, 1910. And I forget which book that came out of. And that's the original last page, the end page of the book. So I hope you love it. I had so much fun making it. Hyperstamper.etsy.com. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.